I can't live without you.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take you on a tour of my 50 watercolor flowers project, an update of where I'm at. The slideshow you see right now is just a collection of what I've painted so far, and don't worry, you'll see it again at the end of this video. I've painted paintings 1 through 11 right now out of the collection of 50 garden flowers I've decided to paint. And I'm just going to show you a little bit about the process of painting some of these, and hopefully you'll be interested in continuing to follow me along on the progress of this project. If you'd like to have a better look at all of these paintings and see still photos and even some progress pictures of the painting progress, then do check out my website. I have a blog called 50 Watercolor Flowers Portraits Project, which is shown on the screen here. You can check it out at lauraashton.ca and have a better look at all of the paintings and learn more about the process and the project there. So I did 11 paintings in 2020. And the first one was the geranium, which you see here. So this was a red geranium I painted when I first started the series. In this video, I'll show you each painting that I completed, and then most of them have a little bit of video footage of me painting them as well. A few of them don't. So for the geranium, I just mixed up a bunch of different types of red. Like I usually do three shades or mixes of red for any or color for any flower. So in this case it was a red flower, so I chose a warm red, a medium red, a cool red, and this kind of makes up the formula of how I paint any type of flower. I have like a system and steps that I follow. The next painting is the Anemone that you see here, and this painting was super fun to paint. They have such beautiful luminescent glowing petals. And so this project kind of helped me solidify my I call it my 3-step painting method of how I start with first a wet and wet wash, and I lay down wet washes of the base colors, leaving lots of white space, and that's when I use my 3 different colors. So I'll just say light, medium, dark for the sake of this video. And you can see me dropping in the different light, medium, dark purples on this footage of the anemone. And once I do that, I let that first layer dry completely. Often I'll hit it with a hair dryer, and I approach it that I'm going to be doing the bulk of my form and shape and color on this first wash. So the goal is not to overpaint the paintings, which can be easy in botanical painting, and also to save time because you can fiddle around forever. So once I've done that, then I add lines or definition, any kind of contouring or markings, and then on the 3rd step, I add extra color in small little spaces, and I blend it. I still use a 1-step method as well. You can see on these anemone leaves, I'm just using that 1-stroke painting method, which is really nice and quick, where you kind of pull your brush and create the shapes like that. So it's a different approach to watercolor painting, and I like to mix the 2 of them together in my work. It also, again, saves time because you can spend a lot of time on watercolor painting, and I don't have endless time, so I have to figure out what I can do to be able to still complete the artwork that I want to create. So this project has also been a really great way for me to learn more about my style and what techniques work best for me. And during the project, all of these 11 paintings that you'll see, I've used the same Arches 140-pound cold press paper. I find the cold press paper helps give more texture and luminance on that first initial wet and wet wash for building up the petals. And all of the paint I use is artist quality, either Daniel Smith or Winsor & Newton from the tube. So I'm just finishing up a few details between the leaves, and that's kind of wrapping up the footage I have for this anemone, which was painting number 2. You can see there on the flat lay, it turned out pretty nice. I'm happy with it. Painting number 3 is the agapanthus, or lily of the Nile. And this again is a mix of my 2 painting techniques. The 1-stroke painting method is what I used for the flowers, and in this case the 3-step for the leaves. So these leaves are broad, parallel veined leaves, and so because they're bigger and more space to cover, you could have used just like a drag and 1-stroke kind of approach, but for me, I used the first starting off with the wet wash, then I did some vein lining, and then I added more dark contour and shadow in my step 3. And that brings us to the next painting, which was a poinsettia. And I found this one very intimidating. I'd tried to paint poinsettias a lot in the past, and I found they just looked kind of juvenile or overpainted, not enough definition, because they're very, you don't see a lot of leaf or petal reflection, which can often help you create a more realistic painting. So I kind of had to make some of that up to cater to my painting style. So for this full painting, I used the 3-step method of the 3 washes. And you can see starting off with the leaves here, using a really nice deep dark green, which I achieved with Perylene Green by Winsor & Newton. And to get it even darker, I added a little bit of Payne's Gray. And then a nice contrast with the petals, I decided to go non-traditional without using the red poinsettia that we all love. And I actually found a reference photo for a pink one. And I love the pink poinsettias. I think they're really beautiful, also still quite festive. And so this was like a test or experiment for me to see if I could actually make this painting represent the style that I like to have. So step 1's done on those leaves. You can see me laying down the first wash on the petals, and I'm erasing some of that pencil line as I go because the leaves or the petals are lighter, and especially with pink you can see the pencil through it, so you have to be careful about that. And as I lay that first wash down, I'm adding deep color to areas of darker color, and then in the same wash I'm adding some of those lines and veins. Because they're not hard, they kind of soften and spread out on the actual petals as well. And so I am quite happy with how this painting turned out, and you'll see another image of it after the end of this painting footage. And I'd say the key was to really work hard on leaving white space, leaving more white space than you'd think you need. And that's kind of what I continue to work on with this series of paintings. It's always better to leave more white paper showing than less, because you can always add more color. With watercolor, it's a lot harder to take color off. And when I was painting this painting, I was lucky enough to have a day of uninterrupted time, so I was actually able to do this entire painting in almost just one kind of morning afternoon session of very focused painting, which is an accomplishment for me. So my goal for this year, I did do 11 in 2020. I'm hoping for 2021 I can at least do 12 paintings. I'd love to do more, but with working full-time and having a family, it can be challenging to do that. Because I can't spend all my days painting, unfortunately, even though I would love to. And so this is nearing the end of our poinsettia project footage, and I actually have enough filmed to make a full class on this video. So comment below if you'd want to ever see a full class on painting this painting, maybe near next Christmas. Next painting is the Pansy. This one I actually gifted the original to my mom last year for Mother's Day. And again, just showing you some footage of where I'm at with painting this. So I had most of the first layers in at this point, and then I was just dropping in a bit more color for those darker areas on the focal point of the petals, and still keeping the edges wet, so I've got that nice soft edge. And the brushes I use are from Rosemary & Co. Sometimes people ask. They're sable brushes, and they keep a really nice point, and I do order them from the UK. So in this shot, I'm just adding the final detail of a bit of darker yellow in the center, and that finishes off the pansy. And I was really happy with how that one turned out. I also have a very fast speed painting video of it on the YouTube channel if you want to check that out. Next one is the amaryllis, and I didn't have any footage of that, so I went right into the next one, which is the wild rose, and then after that the primrose. And these ones I didn't get a chance to take any video. Going a little bit quick now, this is the daffodil, and now onto the grape hyacinth. So those ones I hadn't had a chance to film while I was painting. It's kind of like a bigger setup. I don't have a dedicated studio right now, so I have to bring all my painting equipment out, put it in a common area, and leave it up for all the different sittings I do to finish the painting. So it's not always easy for me to do that, and sometimes I just get down to painting just so I can actually accomplish something. This one I did get a chance to film. It's the grape hyacinth. So this one took longer because there's so many tiny little spaces to paint. So you would think sometimes the larger painting like the poinsettia might take longer because you use more paint, but it's actually opposite. So that one was one of the quicker ones. This was probably one of the most time consuming so far out of the series, but I did really enjoy it. It was really relaxing. Making all the little droplets of the flower nice and luminous. And that's the grape hyacinth, one of my favorite spring flowers. And then lastly, the Camellia. This is the last one, painting number 11. And that concludes the update and tour for the 50 Flowers project so far. You can check out more on my website. So if you want more information, as I mentioned, I have a blog on my website, and it has all of the flowers listed there, what number they are, and more information on each one. So you just head to my website, lauraashton.ca, hit blog, 50 Flowers projects, and you can see them all here. And then you can click through and read more about each painting, and also see the original post that lists all of the flowers that I plan to paint for this project, which I posted in December 2019 when I started. So it has all 1 to 50 flowers, and then I've linked all the ones that are already done. So if this video was a little quick for you, please do visit the website. And I'd love it if you shared this on social media too. The more people following the project, the better, the more fun it is. So yeah, do share this as any way you can. I also have most of the original paintings for sale on my website under shop, under originals. You can check them all out. Most of them are $99 Canadian. And again, if you want to share any of that, if you're not able to purchase a painting or it's not your thing, but you know someone that would be interested, I would love the support. And you can just browse. Most of the paintings I have available, some of them in the series have already sold. And then if that's out of your price range, you could also just purchase a digital art print, which is a downloadable file. You get an instant download, and then you can print it yourself or send it to an online printer or a local printer, and you can print it so it fits an 8x10 frame. If you're interested in doing that. And if you would like more information, more detailed information, you can check out my full online class, Botanical Watercolors for Beginners, or one of my digital guides. Right now I just have one for the wild rose painting up, and that's the painting from the series that I did. I break it down, and again, an instant download PDF that you can follow along and paint with all the instructions and steps and colors. Yeah, so I would love it if you visit my website, let me know what you think. And thank you to everyone that has subscribed to my channel. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and like this video so it will trend more, so I can make more videos for you. And you can also check me out on Instagram at Laura Ashton Artist. I post more updates about the 50 Flowers project there, as well as my website. And just before signing off, here is another look at each painting that I've done in the 50 Watercolor Flowers project, paintings 1 through 11. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.
without you. Whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, oh. I can't breathe without your love. Your love. I can't breathe without you. I can't breathe without you.